Alright, just got my last COVID test in a while, I hope. Never can get used to having a swab stuck up my nostril. Anyway, ready to go back to USA, San Francisco. Can't remember how many COVID tests I've taken. Probably over 20, I'm guessing, in the last 2.5 months. And London always charges the most. Cost me $50 for this COVID test, and much more expensive than other countries I've been to in this trip. Portugal was the best. It was entirely free. But in London, nothing is free. Everything is expensive, as you can probably guess. Flying out tomorrow, early flight, 5 a.m. So gotta get to the airport pretty early. Flying out of Heathrow Airport, which is the main airport, which is gonna be easier and quicker to get to, but most expensive to fly out of. Next time, if I end up in London, I'll probably take the high-speed train to Paris, since I've never been on one, and fly out from Paris. Tickets are a lot cheaper for you travelers who are wondering. I'm paying an additional $200 because London Airport charges you that tax. For the same flight going to San Francisco, it would have been $200 cheaper. This time I decided to just take the hit and fly out London just so that it's easier. On top of that, I get to stay one more day in London, which is definitely growing on me. It's got a lot of things I like, that I do like, that we also have in the United States. London has as well. So far, I've enjoyed London, and first time here was 4 years ago. Didn't get to explore much, but this time around I've seen a lot more. Met up with some friends, met some new people, and played a good amount of poker, and been running really well. Was winning about 80% of the time. So every 5 sessions I would win 4 out of 5, which is very good. You know, the hourly in low stakes is never that high, but you know, I'm averaging about, I think, $40 or $45 an hour. Obviously it's cash, but it's not the greatest amount of money, but it's more of a hobby, more of exercising my brain power. Just the ability to, you know, win consistently and be better than other people at something that you like is quite rewarding, actually. You know, I think it's the same for anyone who's into sports. You want to be able to beat your opponents, you know. So I've always been, you know, competitive when it comes to things like this. So for my final day in London, I'm going to do a little bit of shopping. You know, I've racked up a bunch of British pounds since I've been here playing poker. Notice I lowered my voice since I don't want anyone to hear that I'm packing some, you know, or stacking some British pounds. Anyways, going to do a little bit of shopping. I figured I could either lose some of that money through exchange, which I definitely will, but might as well buy something here that is cheaper here than it is in the United States. A brand that I like is All Saints. It's a British brand, and I'm gonna check out their headquarters in Oxford Street or Regent Street, and it should have, you know, a large selection of their entire line of clothing, since it is their flagship store. Think about picking up a leather jacket. Can't buy too much, fortunately, because my bags are getting heavy, but I do want this leather jacket. I thought about buying the iPhone 2 as well, as you guys probably saw in my previous video, but it is actually $300 more expensive than it is in the United States, so there's no reason for me to buy it here. I'd rather pay, you know, 5% or lose 5% by exchanging my monies back to dollar than to waste $300 on an iPhone that I can get back at home. So always buy things where they're originally manufactured. So in this case, iPhones obviously is a US product, so I'm gonna buy it back at home. Yeah, so that's what I'll do today. I do need to exchange my whatever's left after shopping at the money exchange. So take you guys with me. At the airport right now. Just had my meal at the Lufthansa lounge. A couple servings of scrambled eggs and some fresh fruit and some veggies. So just gotta wait another half an hour before my flight starts to board. So I'm just gonna chill here. But today was pretty productive, you know. Was able to spend the last day in London doing the stuff that I needed to do, which was to exchange my pounds back into dollars. Basically, the pounds that I got was from my winnings in poker, and Googled a exchange company, money exchange company that was relatively highly rated. So went there, and the rate was decent, and you know, they always have that listed exactly what the conversion rate is. Tip for you guys is don't just go by that. You should go there and negotiate with the person there, and that's what I did. He was going to charge me 5% based on what was listed, but I was able to negotiate it down to 3%, which is, you know, still sizable. I mean, basically the 2,000 pounds that I converted into dollars, I lost about $90, which is pretty significant if you think about it. I mean, all he's doing is just exchanging money. He's not selling anything, he's just exchanging money. He's going to take $90. So if I hadn't negotiated, it would have been worse. So always negotiate and get the best rate possible. After that, I was able to go to All Saints and get my leather jacket, so that was successful. And then went to Hippodrome one last time and only had 2 hours of playtime because I didn't want to get to the airport late, so only played for 2 hours. Didn't run well. Lost first session in the last 2 weeks. It was 270 pounds I lost. So it's okay. You can't win them all. My win rate is about 80% so far on this trip. So every 5 wins or so, 4 or 5 wins, I'm going to lose once. Can't win them all. So didn't have any cards, and players were fairly tight. So didn't make any money. Anyway, now I am excited to go back to San Francisco to see some of my friends and family. Probably will spend a week there before I head to Vegas. So I will shoot some more videos when I get back to landed in Frankfurt, about to hop on my connecting flight to San Francisco. The business class on that Lufthansa flight from London to Frankfurt was not really business class in my opinion. It's more like a economy plus at best. I mean, it did serve okay meal, but the seating was just like a regular economy class with a little bit more legroom. Didn't give it much of endorsement, so not worth filming. Anyway, this longer flight from Frankfurt to San Francisco should be a lot better. If not, I'm gonna throw a fit because this is a business class ticket and I paid a lot of money and it should be better. Just woke up, slept for 6 hours. That was pretty good. Can't remember when was the last time I slept for 6 hours on a flight. So that's one of the perks of flying business. That said, this is the perfect time to do a review of the Lufthansa business class flight from Frankfurt to San Francisco. So probably one of the more important things is the TV monitor, and I like it. It actually pulls out like this. You can adjust the angle, so really you're looking direct at it, which is nice. Leg space is pretty good. So I'm 6'2", and you know, obviously there's plenty of leg room, and the adjustments here for the chair, pretty self-explanatory, and you can actually go all the way down, lay flat right here by pressing this button, and basically you're in a sleeping bed position. And it barely fits me, so when it's completely flat, my feet will end up like this. It's a little tight here. That's my only gripe, is it's a little tight. You can't really move your feet around, even though you can extend it all the way. No one really sleeps like this, right? So at least I don't. So I wish there was a little bit more space here, and compared to the United Polaris business class, this seems to be a little bit tighter. Although the United Business Class also has an issue where you can't move it up. So, you know, there's something blocking on its very top. So both of them have issues when it comes to the capability of moving your feet around. Plane itself wise, it's I want to say it's probably a 5-year-old plane. Not the newest. You can tell by the monitor it's not really high depth. You know, each seat has 3 windows, which is very good. You know, you have storage space here, and you have a little compartment here where you can put your bag, like your important, you know, personal bag. more storage here underneath to put your shoes. This is my breakfast before I eat that and my espresso. Again, I'm using the control buttons for the chair, multi-way, lumbar support, you know. So usually you're just going to be in one of these three selections, either the chair, midway, or the bed. The chair itself, pretty comfy, not bad, definitely can't complain. You got a headrest, got lighting for your reading time, and this is something extra that United does not have. They have this little mattress here that you can use, and first I didn't think it was going to be much of a difference, but again, I was able to sleep 6 hours straight without really waking up, and that hasn't happened in a long time. Actually, probably hasn't ever happened since as long as I can remember. So you do have that, and then there's more stuff here. You have your gadgets here, basically your headphones in here, your remote, your tray table, and your charger part right here is just an outlet to plug in your charger. I think it should have a USB port, not just a outlet port. USB port, at least a USB-C. I mean, in this day and age, it should be a USB-A. So, again, this shows the age of this plane. Armrest here that goes up and down, which is nice. You can adjust it, pressing this, pull up, or press down. And then, what else I got for you? The headphones, silencers as well, so they can reduce the exterior noise when you put them on. And that's about sums it up. The staff-wise, fairly friendly. They only had sweets and cheese for dessert for dinner, and I didn't want to eat any of that, just to maintain, you know, eating habits. And the nice gentleman here was kind enough to find a plate of mixed fruit for me. So I knew he had to probably go out of his way to get that, but he was able to make it happen, so I appreciate it very much. And food-wise, if I had to rate it from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7. Obviously, I'm not comparing it to a gourmet restaurant, but I'm comparing it to other, business class flights. Decent, wasn't too appetizing, and the breakfast, there was only one choice. They told me the other choice with the salad was not available anymore, so the one that I just ate that you saw, it was full of, sweetener and just too much sugar. If I had to compare it to United and Delta, I think Delta still has the best, course meals for their business class passengers. So that's why I'm eating my power bar instead to get my protein. There's actually no protein in the breakfast at all. Just rice, beans, and bread and butter. Back in home soil. It's hard to believe I've been gone for 2.5 months, but it's good to be back. And spend holidays with family and friends. So looking forward to that.